PMDD partners, welcome to another episode of the In Love with PMDD podcast. I am your host, Dr. Rose Alcatan, your PMDD relationship psychotraumatologist. And being that I have PMDD, I have chosen to specialize my practice in helping PMDD partners to stop the monthly breakups. Each week, I will be providing you with my signature trauma transformational tools. Now, let's get into this week's episode. Today, I'm going to be teaching you one of the most impactful tools that I use with my clients, and it's really going to help you stop doing something within your PMDD relationship that you're probably doing every single month, and you're not really recognizing how much it's causing you to suffer more with your PMDD symptoms and how much more your partner who doesn't have PMDD is suffering. And I'm telling you about this tool because I used to do it, right? So I want to just preface before I get started that anything that I'm teaching you and I'm telling you not to do, I'm not blaming you for doing it. I'm not shaming you for doing it. I've done it myself and I've known how much suffering it's caused me. So the reason why I'm letting you know this is because I want to reduce your suffering in your PMDD relationship. So this is a bit of a tough love episode, but it's something that's really needed. And I always, whenever I am seeing a pattern with my private clients of like having to give the same tools, say the same things again and again and again, I'm like, you all need to know this. So this is like a little bit of a glimpse into working privately with me. What I want you to stop doing, and I don't mean, and I know it's not going to be easy. And I know it's very instinctual. It's probably a habit for you by now. And that is saying you're going to break up with your PMDD partner. If you're the partner that has PMDD or you're the partner that doesn't have PMDD, I want you to stop saying that you're going to break up. Here's why. You're not going to break up. You would have done it by now. So this is really me. Remember, I always say call your partner out, call people out, call the behaviors out that are causing you the most suffering so that you can stop these behaviors. So I'm calling you out. You're not really going to break up, especially if you're listening to me. And my whole purpose is to stop the PMDD monthly breakups. If you're listening to me, you're not going to break up. So every single time that you say it in PMDD or you say it in a fight or you say it in an argument, you're causing yourself more suffering because you're not really going to do it. And what happens is when you say that you're going to break up or say, you get frustrated, you get stressed out, and you say, well, maybe we should just break up. We should just break up. So you make this declaration in your mind and you don't follow through with it. You'll devalue your word every single time that you say that you're going to break up and you don't follow through with it. You're letting your partner know, hey, she can say, or he can say that he's going to break up. They're not going anywhere. They're going to begin to not take your word seriously. Then when you try to enforce boundaries and say, hey, we need to do this, or hey, we need to do that, or hey, I need this in PMDD, or hey, I need this from you when you're in PMDD, they don't value your word because when you say that you're going to break up, you never really follow through. So how do they know that you really mean that you want them or you need them or they have to, live within the realms of these boundaries? You're making them not trust your word because you keep saying every single month, PMDD is cyclical. So every single time that you have a fight, every single time that you have an argument, and you're like, oh, we're going to break up, we're going to break up. And then the next month you haven't broken up. But then you expect for them to believe other words that you're saying. You're like, no, but I really mean this, or I really mean it this time. We're really going to break up. No, you are not. Breaking up is not a solution for being in a PMDD relationship. Being single is not a cure for having PMDD. And I say this all the time. You're putting all of that energy and that focus on breaking up instead of putting that energy and focus on getting the tools that you need to solve the problems that you have with your PMDD partner and with your relationship. You're distracting yourself by just telling yourself, yeah, we're going to break up. That's a solution. And internally, you may feel good because you've made a decision, but you've not acted on it. You've not acted on it. So now, you're in this situation where you're like, my partner doesn't take me seriously. I say that I need them. I say that I need more help around the house. I say I need more help with the chores. I say I need more help with the kids. I say that I need this. And I say, I can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore. Well, you can take it because you've been taking it and you're going to continue to take it. Do you see what I mean? You're distorting the reality of the situation. You're declaring things that are not actually true. You keep saying you can't go another month in PMDD with your partner. And then you go another month in PMDD with your partner. You keep saying, I can't deal with this mistreatment from my partner. I deserve better. But then you spend another month with mistreatment from your partner. And that's reinforcing, okay, so do you not believe that you deserve better? Because I thought you just said you cannot deal with another month with your partner with this mistreatment. It's very conflicting. And what happens is, and I'm telling you this from a psychologist's point of view, your subconscious mind does not know when you're being serious and what you're lying. It believes whatever it is that you tell it. So when you're saying out loud, when you repeatedly say that you want to break up with your PMDD partner, your subconscious mind processes this as a significant declaration. It's saying, okay, they're not going to be with their partner anymore. And it can lead to this cognitive and emotional consequences that affect both you and your mindset, right? So every time you verbalize and say, I'm going to break up with my PMDD partner, I'm going to break up with my partner who has PMDD, you are rewiring your neural pathways. So your brain starts to associate your partner and the relationship with they're the enemy. You're leaving. They're the bad guy. So if you're asking yourself, why do you keep viewing your partner as the bad guy? Why does your partner keep viewing you as the bad guy? It's because you programmed your neural pathways to believe that your partner is the enemy. It's not a coincidence that you feel like your partner is the enemy. You've declared it. You've said it. So this strengthens your neural pathways tied to separation. So when you try to work on your relationship, when you work with me privately, I have to dig through all of those declarations of breaking up because they're in your neural pathways. They're cognitively in your brain. Think of it as downloading in your brain every single time you say it. It's like, all right, all hands on deck. They want to break up. So we need to basically focus everything cognitively to all of the reasons why they shouldn't be together. Your brain is now hyper focused on your partner and finding out more ways of why you shouldn't be together. You know, we have this thing called the reticular activating system in our mind. And whenever you focus on something, your brain is going to begin to look for things that support what it is that you made that declaration for. So if you made that declaration of, I don't want to be with my PMDD partner, we need to break up, you're now hyper focused. Your reticular activating system is now searching for reasons why you should break up. And when you're in PMDD, it's magnified. So over time, this can make the relationship feel really, really unstable because your mind is actually cognitively working against you in PMDD because you've declared that you want to break up. And so when you're trying to say, okay, Dr. Rose, we want to work on our relationship, we can't work on your relationship and getting the suffering out of your relationship, getting the stress out of your relationship, solving the issues that you actually have with your partner until we take breaking up off the table. I have to make your brain cognitively believe that you are not breaking up with your PMDD partner before I can even begin any of the work because your brain is already programmed. It's almost like resetting your brain to default settings. Once you said break up, break up, break up month after month after month, your brain is programmed for that. So if you're coming to me and you're saying, okay, no, I really want to be with my PMDD partner. I really want to make this work. I don't really want to break up. You're saying one time out loud, I don't want to break up with my PMD because I have to pull it out of you in order to say it. And then you'll say, well, and I'll say, do you really want to break up? Because now it's an uphill battle. Like I've helped couples go through breakups amicably, calmly, without the drama. If they genuinely believe that they don't want to be with each other, I will help you do it in a peaceful state. I'm going to help you do whatever it is that you want me to help you do. But you can't come to me and say, Dr. Rose, I want to break up and then expect me to help you patch up your relationship. I'm not going to fight you. I'm not going to convince you to be with your PMDD partner. That's not my job. You have to make a decision. And I always ask you this question, is this your person? If this is your person and you want to work on your PMDD relationship, don't keep telling me that you're going to break up because I'm going to work with you next month and that's not really what you want. So I need you to stop saying something that's not true because it's messing with your brain. It's messing with your head. Every single time that you say that you're going to break up, it's erasing a lot of the work that we've done because now you're back at the start line. So cognitively, by the end of our private sessions, we'll come to the conclusion of these are the tools that you need to do in your PMDD relationship to solve this issue that's making you feel so stressed out, so overwhelmed, so burnt out, so depleted that you want to break up. And so we'll get to that place. And I always ask my private clients at the end, like, do you feel better? Do you feel good? Do you feel confident that you could be in this relationship? And they're like, yes. And then if you get off that session and go say to your partner in the next argument, the next fight, the next disagreement, we should just break up. It's like you're going backspace. It's like an etch a sketch where you're just taking the tools and the work that we've done in our sessions and you're shaking it up and you're erasing it. And you're wondering why it's not working, why it's not sticking, why it's not sustaining itself. It's because you keep erasing the progress by reprogramming your brain to your partner being the enemy and you should just break up. You have to stand firm, especially during PMDD, in your decision to be with your PMDD partner. And this is why I always have you write down. So if you're taking notes, I want you to write down the reasons why you want to be with your PMDD partner, not just the reasons why you want to be with your PMDD partner. What are the ways that it benefits you to be with your PMDD partner? What do they provide for your life? A lot of times you're fighting for something and you're not really clear on why you're fighting to stay in it, stay in the relationship. It's almost like it's just comfortable. Maybe financially you guys are living together, so it's more convenient. You got the kids in there, the families want you to be together. It's all these other reasons out, and those are superficial reasons. Those are reasons that are tied to other people. I want you to ask yourself this question. Why are you with your specific PMDD partner? Not why are you with a partner? Because you can always come up with reasons like, oh, I need support or I need, help with this. Why are you with this particular person? And I want you to actually use their name. Why are you with John? Why are you with Rebecca? What is it about Rebecca that, and I want you to be specific in a way that you are thinking about, even when you say I'm not compatible, compare them to other people. Why are you with this specific person? Get out of this scarcity mindset. There are 8 billion people in this world. Your partner is not the only one. So there's a reason why you're fighting or you're holding on, barely holding on, being with this particular person. It's not because there's nobody else out there for you. It's not because nobody else will love you. So if that's what you're thinking, that's not a valuable reason. That's why it's not working. When you try to hold on to your PMDD partner with reasons that really don't make sense, that's why it's harder, or it's harder to believe, because your subconscious mind is like, no, there's actually 8 billion people in the world. And I've been there before. I'm like, if it doesn't work out with this person, then I'm not going to be with anyone. No one's going to be able to love me the way that this person loves me. And a lot of times that was a good thing. A lot of times when I really thought about it, I'm like, I hope nobody loves me the way this person loves me. You know what I mean? Like, I had to really get real. What am I holding on to? Sometimes you're holding on to something that's actually causing you to suffer even more. You need to get clear. You need to remove the fog. You need to think back to the beginning. You need to restore your default settings. Why did you choose your PMDD partner? Why did you choose, if you're the partner that doesn't have PMDD, why did you choose to be with this person? Being in a PMDD relationship is difficult. Being in any relationship is difficult, actually. I have clients that don't have PMDD, that just have other realms of trauma. It's not easy. So if you're looking at Instagram or TikTok or social media and they're making it seem like everything is roses and sunshine, it reminds me of that speech that Rocky gave. And he was like, life isn't all roses and sunshine. Whenever you think that, and I remember I used to be in that happily ever after mindset of like, if I was only with this other person, everything would be so much better. And then I get with a person with the qualities that I think that I need, and it's still hard. It's just harder in a different way. I really bargained. I lost this, but then I got this. Like maybe if I said, hey, I want someone that's more affectionate. So I get someone that's more affectionate, but then they're not like stable in other ways. They're not responsible. They're not committed. Maybe they're affectionate with a lot of people. Like, you know what I mean? It's a trade-off. So the next thing that happens, again, stop saying, if I can reinforce anything into your PMDD brain and you're taking notes, write on the top of your journal. I want you to start having, and I'll probably create one at some point. But for me, it's not even, you know what? I'm going to write that down. I'm going to create something for you, because a lot of these things with programming or reprogramming your PMDD brain, you have to use these tools again and again and again. And I'm a big proponent for taking notes because it helps you refer back to them. And I don't just mean journaling, because yes, I have morning pages and journaling that I do, but when I take notes, I take mine in bullet format. It's like this stood out to me, this stood out to me. And I know when you're listening to me, I resonate with you. It's like I'm speaking to you, but there's certain things that reaches certain people. Meaning I'm saying something to you you're getting something out of the episode that someone else may not be getting, and vice versa. So whatever sticks out to you, it's directly correlated with your situation. You need to be writing this down. So or just listening to the podcast again and again and again. I'm going to have something at the beginning of the year or even at the end of the year that's really going to help you with having kind of this daily rewiring of your PMDD brain, because I know in PMDD um, it's a daily thing, whether you're in your luteal phase, your follicular phase, it is daily that I go through things. I remember waking up in my PMDD relationship and every day I was just like, what are we going through? What's going on now? Blah, blah, blah. Like it was so stressful because I didn't need just one tool. I didn't need just one thing. I needed something every single day that would rewire my PMDD brain. So I'm going to be coming out with something that's really, really going to help you. But the next thing that happens when you say that you're going to break up with your PMDD partner, you are activating your fight or flight response. You almost ignite this sense of adrenaline when you say it. Have you ever said it in the middle of an argument and you feel like your heart rate is going up? You'll say it. You either say it and you keep yelling. That's that fight where you're just like, we just need to break up. We're going to break up. But you're in that fight mode, or you say it on your way out. You can say it like, put your hands up. We just shouldn't be together. Leave the room, close the door, get in the car, drive off into the sunset. Put the location off your phone, put your phone on do not disturb, all of these things. So you have these breakup threats. It signals a potential loss or conflict. It's triggering your brain to fight or flight response. So the potential loss is that, oh my gosh, because again, your subconscious mind doesn't know that and I don't want to say that you're lying, because I believe that you really believe it in the moment. Because every single time that I've said it before, I believed it in the moment. Did I follow through and do it? No. Let me tell you, because I've broken up, finally broken up, really broken up with PMDD partners in the past. And when I tell you that when I really was going to break up with my PMDD partners in the past, I did not even make the declaration. That's how I knew. I was silent, silence of the lamb, which, how they ever say, like, be careful about the quiet ones. When I'm going to make a decision, I don't need your buy-in. I don't need your opinion. If I stop collaborating with you on my decision to break up, know that you've lost me. Know that I'm gone. I'm when I say I'm gone, I am gone. Meaning I'm not having a conversation with you about it. I'm not trying to convince you that I'm really going to do it. I'm not going to, if I'm talking to you and I'm saying, for real, I'm really going to break up with you. I'm really going to leave. I'm not going anywhere. I'm trying to get you to elicit a behavior that's convincing me to stay. I'm trying to help collaborate with you as a reason. I want you to tell me why I should stay. I want you to say, "No, please don't leave, babe. I'll do this. I'll listen to your boundaries. I'll meet your needs. That's what I'm looking for." To be completely honest, when I'm saying it to you, I'm thinking that you're going to convince me. You're going to feel like I don't want to lose her. So I'm going to do the things that she's requiring or that we need to do to work on our relationship. That's the reason why I'm saying it. I'm trying to, and again, this can happen consciously or subconsciously. You're trying to scare the person into actually losing you. You're like, okay, I used to do this with my daughter when she was a baby, and I tried to get her to get up and leave, right? If we were at a fun place, and I'm pretty sure you've done this with your kids before when you're trying to, you're at a really fun place. We used to do this at the either at the playhouse at McDonald's, or we'd be at the trampoline place. And I tell my daughter, like, hey, let's go. And she didn't go. She didn't get up to go. She was still playing. And I would start putting my shoes on, and I would say, okay, we're leaving. Mommy's leaving. I'm leaving you. And when I was saying that, I was trying to elicit a response to her of saying, oh no, mommy's leaving me. I need to get up and go and follow her, or else I'm going to be here alone. Some of you are doing that in your PMDD relationships. A lot of you are doing that in your PMDD relationships. You're arguing, you're stressing yourself out, you're raising your cortisol levels, and you're saying, I'm going to break up with you. I'm going to break up with you, John. Rebecca, I'm going to leave you. I'm not always going to be there for you. I'm not always going to be there. You're not always going to have me. You're not. I'm really going to leave. I mean it this time. I really, really mean it this time. You're not going to have me. I'm not going to stand for this. I'm not going to stay in this relationship and get treated like this. I deserve better. I deserve better. I'm out of here. And then you stay. What happens to your word after that happens? Your subconscious mind is literally confused. It's like, no, 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 but you said you were leaving. You said you deserved better. You said you were not compatible. You said you didn't want to be with this person. Why are you still here? That's why it feels so hard to stay in PMDD relationships after you said that you want to break up, because your subconscious mind, it's not matching. It's like the kids say these days, the math ain't mathing. You said you want to break up. You said you deserve better. You said you can't take this anymore. Next month rolls around and you're still there. Make it make sense. In my mind, you're either wanting to actually break up and you're taking the steps in order to do it, or you're wanting to stay in the relationship and you're taking the steps to get help for the issues that you have with your PMDD partner. Point blank, period. Anything you do outside of that is going to cause you to suffer more. If you have PMDD, it's going to make your symptoms worse. If you don't have PMDD, it is going to make you suffer more in the relationship, because you're going to lose respect for yourself. You're going to lose validation for yourself. You're going to lower your value the longer you stay in a relationship that you've declared that you don't want to be in. I don't deserve to be treated like this. And then you stay and be treated like that. Make it make sense. What are you doing? This is the conversation I literally had to have with myself. Rose, what are you doing? And how much longer are you going to be able to do it? Because it depletes you. It starts to feel like being in the relationship is so heavy. You're dragging yourself through the relationship every single month. And then you begin to think, I guess this is just how our relationship is going to be. I guess it's just going to be like this. Then you start losing hope that there's any help for your PMDD relationship. So if you come to me at that point, I now have to restore your hope, because now you've been sitting in a situation that you genuinely feel like you don't deserve, but you've been staying there. So now your self-worth it's in the trash. It's in the garbage. It's in the garbage. It's in the dump truck. Because cognitively, your brain is saying you deserve to have a supportive PMDD partner. And yet you're staying with someone that you don't consider a supportive PMDD partner. And you've not done anything about it. Now, if you've decided, you know what, I deserve a supportive PMDD partner, and I'm going to get the help that it takes in order for me to have a supportive PMDD partner, that makes sense. Because you're saying, even though my partner is not showing me the type of behavior that I believe that I deserve, I'm doing something about it. So you're getting that sense of dopamine. I'm getting help. I'm getting my partner help. We're going through a process. We're using the tools. We're actually actively doing something about it. If you're not actively doing something about it, and you're staying in that, this is going to flood your body with the stress hormones like cortisol. It's going to reinforce those feelings of fear, anger, and emotional overwhelm. It's giving you all of these negative emotions. And the next thing that happens when you say that you're going to break up and you don't really break up is you reinforce negative beliefs. The subconscious minds take repeated statements as truth, even if you say them impulsively. So even if every single time you have an argument with your PMDD partner, you say you're going to break up, your subconscious mind basically is believing you repeatedly. So it can actually take your statement of saying it one time, and this is where the intrusive thoughts is, and you'd be like, oh, I'm in PMDD, I'm having intrusive thoughts. You are causing yourself to have intrusive thoughts because you said it that one time, I want to break up. When you start to say it often enough, your subconscious mind begins to believe that the relationship is trash. Your partner is trash. Your partner is the enemy. Your partner gives you the ick. Have you ever been and PMDD and be like, oh my gosh, my partner doesn't even seem attractive to me anymore. Like you're looking at them and you're wondering why they're not seeming attractive physically, emotionally. You're like, I don't even know why I'm with them. They have these annoying habits. You caused yourself to have the ick with your partner by saying that you wanted to break up with them because now your reticular activating system is looking for flaws in your partner that gives you the ick. And by the ick, it means when you look at your partner and you're like, ugh. And I know you've done that. So subconsciously, you may unknowingly start to look for flaws or reason to leave. So this is perpetuating a cycle of dissatisfaction with the relationship. You're reinforcing negative beliefs. You're basically feeling like this relationship is horrible, but yet you're staying. And it's harder for you to stay after you've programmed in your brain that you don't want to be here. It's like when you know that you're going into a corporate meeting and you're like, oh my gosh, you start talking about how awful the meeting is going to be, how annoying your coworkers are going to be in the meeting. Like you're dreading it. And maybe the meeting's on Monday. So you spend Friday, Saturday, Sunday talking about this meeting. Like this is going to be horrible. This meeting is going to suck. I'm going to be sitting there. I'm going to feel horrible. I'm going to want to leave. There's so many other things I could do. I have so much work to do. By the time you get into the meeting and sit down, it doesn't even have to suck. Your subconscious mind is creating reasons why the meeting sucks. It's now looking at your boss, talking, and you thinking to yourself, this could have been an email. Why am I even here? Your subconscious brain, the reticular activating system, is now hyper focused, hyper vigilant on all the reasons why the meeting sucks. This is the same thing that happens with your PMDD relationship. If you're consistently saying, I want to break up, especially if you're talking to friends about it. If you're talking to friends and family about how horrible your PMDD partner is, how much you argue, how you're not happy, how you're not getting your needs met, how the relationship just sucks, and then you stay in the relationship, and then you want to go on date nights with them. You want to go on like group date nights. You're like, hey guys, let's meet at the restaurant and we'll all go out. And they're like, what the heck are you talking about? You just said your partner treats you like crap. You just said you wanted to break up, and now you're expecting other people to live into this narrative of like you're one big happy family. Like you're this, especially around the holidays. I'm telling you, this is going to cause you to suffer around the holidays. Whatever holiday you celebrate, when you have all of these family gatherings and you've repeatedly said to your family, I don't want to be here. I'm suffering. Oh my gosh, my partner's so much. They're so annoying. They cause me so much stress. They make my PMDD symptoms worse. Or every single time my partner's in PMDD, I don't get my needs met. It's just horrible. I don't know how much more I can take of this. And then you get down and you sit down at the table and you're wanting to like, hey, so how are you guys doing? What are you talking about, chicken nugget? What are you talking about? You're putting this expectation on everyone to just pretend like everything's great for the sake of the optics, for how it looks. When you've genuinely been telling these people, I would need to get out of here. So now when they start treating your partner differently, or they start looking at your partner differently because you've told them how much they've abused you, and now you're mad at them. And so you're trying to have a good time and you're trying to enjoy yourself because maybe you're in your follicular phase, or maybe you guys have worked through the issues and you're trying to have a good time. And so you're expecting them to be on board. So they're like, they say something to you that's like, hey, didn't you say that your partner is verbally abusive? Like, I don't know why you're letting him talk to you like that. Like, then it's like, girl, this is my partner. We've been working through our issues. Like, we're good. Like, pretty much you're expecting them to be on board when you've programmed their brain to believe that your partner's the enemy, you're in danger, they're trying to protect you, and you're making it really hard for them to support you because you're not being consistent with your words and your actions. Your words are saying your partner's manipulative, your partner's abusive, your partner's a narcissist, your partner's toxic, you're in a toxic relationship, but your actions are saying, but we're going to stick it out and we're really working on all of our issues. This is why I say when you're working with me as a private client, talk to me, look at me, talk to me. Do not keep telling your friends and family all of the crap that's going on in your PMDD relationship, because it's going to be harder for them to be on board with supporting you when you actually get the tools and you start to use them. It's going to be harder for you to be able to enjoy the outcome of that if your family is consistently reminding you of all of these things that you said that your partner has done. And it all started with you saying to them, I want to break up. You've said it to yourself and you've programmed your brain, and you said it to them and you programmed their brain. Because when we're in the private sessions together and you're getting tools for your PMDD relationship, they're not in the sessions with you. You have to think about that. I can talk to you. I can rewire your PMDD brain, or I can rewire your brain for the partner that doesn't have PMDD, and give you tools and pretty much reinforce your hope of your relationship by strategically telling you, not by things that are not actionable. Like, hey, if you want to be in this relationship, I will give you the blueprint. I will give you the map. I will give you the homework. I'll tell you exactly what to do step by step as my private client. I'm not telling that to your friends and family. So they're still believing your initial statement of, I want to break up. And so it's harder for them to rewire their brain into being supportive, because you've already told them that this is not what you want. When you're feeling really impulsive like that and you're saying that I want to break up, keep it to yourself, journal it out, or tell it to me. You can tell, because here's the thing. If you're my private client and you tell me that you want to break up and I know that you really don't want to break up, I will take it with a grain of salt. And if you work with me privately, I know when you mean it and I know when you don't. It's like Santa Claus. You know when you're naughty and nice. I know when you're really done, because I know what it looks like. I know what it feels like. I can feel when a client is really done, and I can feel when a client is just saying it out of frustration. I have that discernment because I have PMDD, because I've been in these same situations, not because I read it in a book, not because it's any kind of training that I've had. No, I know from experience. I know when you're done. And I know when you're not done and you're just saying it out of frustration because you feel like that's the only solution that you have to reduce the suffering in your PMDD relationship, and to get rid of the stress and get rid of the burnout and get rid of the depression and get rid of the anxiety. It's almost like your brain is like, make a decision, make a decision, make a decision. When you're in PMDD, you get into this hyper-focused realm of, I need to make a decision about my PMDD relationship. I need to say something. I need to. No, you don't. You don't need to make a decision about your PMDD relationship while you're suffering in PMDD. But I get it. But I would say communicate that to me, because then I can guide you. And I can say, okay, if you tell me I want to break up and I believe you, I'm going to take you through the steps on how to do that in the most amicable way possible. If you tell me you want to break up and I know you really don't want to break up and your partner doesn't want to break up, I'm going to listen to you. I'm going to validate you. I'm going to believe that you believe it in the moment. But I'm also going to help you to remove the things that are causing you to feel like you have to break up so that you don't break up. That's the power in the sessions. And you really have to have that discernment by being through these situations. So the last thing is, when you get into this realm of saying that you want to break up, this is one of the saddest things that I've seen happen, that I've experienced happen, is you're programming a self-fulfilling prophecy in your brain. And what I mean by that is the subconscious mind tends to work towards what it hears repeatedly. If you continuously say you want to break up, your subconscious mind is going to start aligning your thoughts and your emotions and your actions with that outcome. Think of it like you're getting on a plane and you're telling you're programming the plane, we're going to Denver. And I'm just saying this because I just had a layover there. Never really been out in Denver, Colorado. I'm going to go to Colorado Springs probably this Christmas. But say if you're saying, I'm going to Denver, you're telling the plane, you're programming the plane and the motherboard, we're going to Denver. We're going to break up. Denver is breakup land, right? Everything, every part of that plane is going into the direction of breaking up. And so when you feel like, oh my gosh, I don't want to break up, maybe I can make this work, it's harder for your plane to take a legal U-turn because you've already programmed it towards breaking up. So you may say, okay, now we got the tools, Dr. Rose, and now I'm going to go use them. It's a push-pull, because you're trying to tell your subconscious brain like, hey, I now want to be with this person, but it's already programmed for Denver to break up land. It's already programmed there. So what I do when I'm working with you is I have to go to the root of it. I have to reprogram the motherboard and say, okay, we're no longer going to Denver. Now we're going to Minneapolis. But that takes work. You can't just say it one time. You can't just say, okay, we're not going to break up, and then think that everything's going to feel better. Think that all the tools are just going to come to you and magically you're going to take it back. It's not like you're saying psych, just playing JK, or, oh, I just said that because I was mad, or, I just said that because I was frustrated. No, this can subconsciously influence your behavior towards your PMDD partner. And what it does is it makes you more likely to end the relationship. The relationship will more than likely end because you keep telling it to go to Denver. And at some point, one of these days, your plane is going to land in Denver. Even if you keep trying to reroute it to Minneapolis, which is where you're working on your relationship and you're not going to break up and you're believing that this is my person, some of you get so frustrated and mad and pissed off and angry and sad and depressed when your plane actually lands in Denver, which is breakup land. When your partner actually breaks up with you, you almost act like you've been like, oh my gosh, it just caught me off guard. I can't believe they really left. What are you talking about, chicken nugget? What are you talking about? What do you mean you can't believe your partner finally left you? You've said you wanted to break up with them since 1995. Okay, I'm giving you these I'm talking to you like I would talk to my clients. Okay. What it's bewildering the shock that happens when partners come to me and they say, my partner left me. I can't believe they broke up. I tried to talk to him about it. I tried to do this, and they're not willing to have sessions with you, Dr. Rose, because they're saying they're done. Well, I asked you to have sessions with me for months now. I asked you to be consistent with the sessions because you need to create a pattern in your brain to program it to not break up. That takes time. This is not a one-stop shop. I can't tell you, hey, just tell your brain not to break up and you'll be good. Because every single time that it pops up, you need to be able to have a tool that you're using to reprogram it. So the saddest thing that can happen when you continuously say that you're going to break up is that your partner actually breaks up with you. This happened with me, it happened with me like I was the person. It's me. Like I always say, Taylor Swift, it's me. I'm the problem. It's me. I had said it so much and it became a self-fulfilling prophecy. I actually ended it. Rightfully so. It was, inevitable. But the more I program my brain that this is the direction that we need to go in, the more I was like hyper focused on it. Okay, what does my life look like after the breakup? What is it? And then I remember when I broke up, my ex was like, I can't believe you really broke up. Like, and I was like, what do you mean you can't believe it? I've literally been saying this for months now, years now. And I've had, partners come to me and they're kind of like, I can't believe she really left, or I can't believe he really left. And then I can't help you. I can't convince your partner. I said this before in a previous episode. I can't convince your partner to be with you after they broke up with you. I, if you're hiring me to convince your partner to be with you after they broken up with you because you've said that you're going to break up so many times, because what happens when you say that you're going to break up, you're actually telling your partner what's going to happen. It's not going to last. We're not going to last. We're going to break up. Like, this is not going to work. Every time you say, you don't even have to say, I'm going to break up. Every single time you tell your partner, this is not going to work. We just shouldn't be together. We're just not compatible. Every single time that you say all of those things to your partner, it's being downloaded into their brain. Their subconscious mind is like, well, you shouldn't be with this person because guess what? They don't want to be with you. So you can keep telling your partner the whole time, all of these things. And then you can finally get to the point where you're like, I believe we can make this work. And they're already convinced. They have months and years of programming in their brain that says this is not the relationship for us. You're suffering because if someone feels like being in a relationship with them is causing you to suffer, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good to have the other person feel like they're suffering through being with you. That's not a good feeling. If I feel like I'm causing you so much suffering to where your mental health is starting to decline and you're barely hanging on by a piece of dental floss, I'm not going to want to be with you. I'm gonna be like, you know what? If I'm so horrible, if I'm so bad, if I'm causing you so much suffering, here's the door. And not in a bitter way, not in a resentful way, but in a way of kind of like, I'm not in the relationship to cause you to suffer. I'm in the relationship to support you. I'm in the relationship to love you. I'm in the relationship to work on whatever issues that we have. But if you're in this place of consistently telling me how dissatisfied you are with the relationship, and not even in a way of saying, I'm so dissatisfied, so that means we should really get help. If you're telling me that you're so miserable in this relationship, but that means this is a sign that we need to get help. I'm fine with you expressing your feelings with me because I'm probably miserable too. Like if my partner comes to me and says, I'm feeling so sad. I'm feeling so depressed. I have all this anxiety. It's going into all the other areas of my life. This is horrible. This doesn't feel good. We really need to get help, babe. Like we really need to do something different because if you're saying I can't keep going like this, so we really need to get help. That's a difference between saying I can't deal with this anymore versus I can't deal with this anymore, so we need to get help. If it's followed by so we need to get help, then what that means is you're still in the place of wanting to be with me. You're just not happy with where we're at. So that's why I really want you to recognize the difference. There's a difference between your partner expressing their dissatisfaction with the relationship in a way that they're wanting to get help and get the tools to help in the PMDD relationship, or they're just saying, I'm so dissatisfied, this relationship sucks. Because then the solution is like, okay, if the relationship sucks, get out of the relationship, then your life won't suck anymore. There's a solution. I'm not going to convince you to be with me. Either you want to be here and you're willing to work on the issues or you don't. And that's what I learned. You cannot make your PMDD partner do anything. You can't force them to do it. You can't convince them to do it. And if you do, it's short-lived. They have to believe that they want to be with you. That takes a rewiring of their brain, whether they have PMDD or not, because of the subconscious mind. The reticular activating system is consistently working with all of these declarations where you have said, I want to break up. So if you know you're saying to yourself, Dr. Rose, we've said it every month. We say it every month. It's almost like we become desensitized to it. We've said it so much that it's like, that's just the go-to word. And then that's when we kind of like go to sleep. It's like, yeah, I want to break up. I want to break up too. Okay, good night. And then you wake up the next day, you do your day-to-day activities, you live your life as if you never said that you want to break up. You can act like you never said that you want to break up. Meanwhile, your brain cognitively is working towards breaking up. Your brain is now working against you. And it's doing what you said that you wanted it to do. It thinks it's helping you. So don't be mad at your brain. It thinks it's helping you. It thinks it's protecting you. So until you rewire your brain into believing I'm supposed to be with my PMDD partner, this is my person. All of these things that you have to do and reinforce again and again and again, until you do that, you're going to be consistently working against your own brain. So if this is something where you know that you need help and you want to get out of the cycle of fighting with your own PMDD brain or fighting with your partner's brain with breaking up, you want to stop saying you're going to break up every month. You want to take breaking up off the table. Take breaking up off the table. If you want to do that and you want to strategically do it in a way that it sticks, not just saying, I'm going to make a decision to take breaking up off the table and then wonder why you're still saying it, because there's a way you have to do it. This is what I mean by I'm a trained psychologist. There's a way that you have to cognitively do it to where it sticks. You can't just click your heels and say, oh, I'm not going to break up anymore and think that it's going to work. It's not going to work. It's going to work for the moment, and then it's not going to last. It's not going to be sustainable. So if that's something where you're saying, Dr. Rose, I know that this is what I need to do. I want to get to the point where I'm taking breaking up off the table. I want to get to the point where my partner is taking breaking off the table. Then go to www.inlovewithpmdd.com. Get those PMDD relationship reset sessions. So there's two ways that we can do this. The first way is you get the PMDD relationship reset session. It could be you and your partner, or you get the PMDD pyramid package, where this is one session with you, only you, the partner that has PMDD, one session with the partner that doesn't have PMDD, and then one together where I give you that training session to really rewire your brain in a way that you can rinse and repeat the tools again and again and again. The pyramid session is most impactful because I'm working with the cognitive dissonance of both of you, because breaking up is programmed in both of your brains differently. The tools that I give for the partners that have PMDD is completely different from the tools that I give the partners that don't have PMDD. And then I merge the two tools together in the pyramid session. So if this is something that you know that you need help with, my books for December are filling up. I'm now starting to pre-book a month in advance. So make sure that you go grab those sessions, because I can only take a limited amount of clients, especially around the holidays. And I know this is a peak season, right? This is a peak season because you're around family. You know that you're going to be around family. Your brain is going to be all over the place. You're going to have all of this anxiety. So if this is something that you know that you need help with, hurry up and go. The sense of urgency needs to be there. Hurry up and go book those sessions. And until next time, we got this. Love you. I hope this PMDD episode helped you and your partner in your struggles within your relationship. And if this is something that you know that you need help with and you need further support, individualized support, make sure you're going to inlovewithpmdd.com and you're getting those private sessions to really work through what you're going through in your relationship, specifically in regards to PMDD. And also, I want you to leave a 5-star written review on Apple Podcasts. What this does is it helps other PMDD sufferers and partners find this show that can help them get these free PMDD relationship tools. I remember what it felt like to not know that there were tools out there specifically for PMDD relationships. So I want to make sure that you are sharing these tools with others, share them on your social media, share them with people that you know that are also struggling in their PMDD relationships. Until next episode, this is Dr. Rose, your PMDD relationship psychotraumatologist. One more thing, I almost forgot. I now have the Fresh Start PMDD Partners Workbook. What this workbook can do is if you've had past traumatic experiences with your partner, past fights, past arguments, and they keep coming up every single month in PMDD, I created a Fresh Start Workbook so that you can deal with all of the traumatic experiences that have happened in the past in PMDD rage and all of these things so you can stop going through the same cycle again and again and again. So get that workbook. It comes with a video episode of the actual podcast that I recorded on getting a fresh start in your PMDD relationship. So you're not continuing the same cycle again and again and again. So make sure that you get that workbook. And if you need those individualized counseling sessions, you know where to go, inlovewithpmdd.com. Until next time, we got this. Love you.